it's inhumane, like the things that happened in our school at that time. Like,
it's sad. I never thought that would happen in a small town. It's just unexpected.
The Loche is home. I mean, it's pretty, but it's home. It happens, but I can't do anything about it. Caught me by surprise. Called him my friend. Called him my brother.
The best remedy for those who are afraid, lonely, or unhappy is to go outside. Somewhere where they can be quiet, alone with the heavens, with nature. Because only then does one feel that all is as it should be amidst the simple beauty of nature. Nature brings solace in all troubles.
I knew Ears was, to be honest, Ears was like in this group, this man group that we got here, you know what I mean? He was one of the bros. Like, he went there, chilled out, and the day before the shooting, he took pictures with us. We took pictures and took a little video. He didn't smile in any of those pictures. Honest, nobody really knows why he did it. I don't know why he did it. Like, some people have breaking points, and he broke his point, I guess.
In the fall of 2016, I received an email from a teacher in the remote Dene community of Loche, Saskatchewan. Would I come north and take part in a canoe trip with 8 of her students, a collective they called the Man Group? Her sole intention was to promote healing after the tragic shooting. There was no other agenda. I've done hundreds of wilderness trips with students, but none of those could have prepared me for the profound nature of this experience. Reconnecting to the land their ancestors traveled, hunted, and fished on should be a powerful way to remind the boys who they are and where they came from. And just maybe, show them where they could go.
What up? Most of these boys are just all failing school, you know what I mean? Like, there's about 8 of us. Nobody's really dedicated into school. We all skip, just walk around the hallways and just do our little things, you know what I mean? So we go into this group, just mostly all the bros. And we started talking about stuff, what we would do as a group. So this got thrown out at us and do this portage thing. So most of the bros were like down and we're like already pumped, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, my grandpa went on this trip before. Like, I used to go on this trip a lot, hunting, everything. Just living off the land. So I wanted to try. I wanted to see firsthand what he went through.
I thought it was a good chance to reconnect with my ancestral roots and the culture. In my hometown, my generation and further generations are drifting apart away from the culture to the point that they're losing their language.
Long before Survivorman, I took, thousands of kids out into the wilderness. These boys here from the Loche, they're just teenage boys, man. Almost men. No different than a bunch of guys the same age from LA, or New York, Toronto, or England. It doesn't matter. What they've had to endure and experience at their school, they're going through everything exactly the same as any other kid would. Yet because they're so far in remote northern Saskatchewan, they get forgotten in terms of assistance, help, and compassion. Yet they're no less in need of it than any other person anywhere on this planet that's had to experience a tragedy like these boys did at their school.
The boys have zero experience canoeing, no experience in remote camping or wilderness travel. Yet this journey, this canoe trip, which begins at Lloyd Lake and continues down the Clearwater River for over 100 miles, is based on the traditions of their own heritage. It'll be no picnic. And the first challenge is to get across a large lake against powerful headwinds.
So the elder, Ron, who is here to head up the trip, brought tobacco. It's a pretty well-known tradition of a lot of Aboriginal peoples to make offerings to the natural world, to the Great Spirit, to whomever, for safe passage. It's a showing of respect for the natural world and a connection to the spirit of it. Can't be a bad thing, especially when you're about to cross a lake. It's that big, it's this windy. You want to show a little respect.
Not all of the boys would honor the moment. Some kept the tobacco to smoke, or simply threw it away. And in a spiritual sense, it would set up our next few days to be much tougher than it hoped for.
A lot of kids, they don't go out at all. Before, like I said, they used to go out when my dad was doing it. And we used to have a lot of young people that were struggling in town, and they're not, all of them are not going to be graduating and have a career. When the kids are struggling, this open up their eyes. They see what really life is all about. It's not just city life, and they could have a combination of both.
It normally takes a couple of days for the mind and body of a wilderness traveler to get in rhythm with the flow of nature. And whether caused by not taking the tobacco ceremony seriously or not, the reality is we are unable to escape strong lake headwinds, making every paddle stroke hard work. Every hour of paddling is drudgery so far.
I know, craziest place to camp ever. Well, I guess the boys are about to learn a lesson. Like I said, just like any group of young men, we were almost around the last point. We've been against an incredible headwind for many, many hours. And the last point's right in front of us, not far at all. I'm saying maybe a half a kilometer, not far. And we get around that point and we home free. We get to this section here, though. I was back quite a ways, and they started arguing with the native elder Ron and just whining. Fine, okay. And so we pulled over just short of the finish line in the stupidest spot ever for camping. So let's go see how the boys are doing. Oh, great. It's nice and buggy in here. Perfect.
I think we're on an anthill, man. I think we're on an anthill.
No, bro, there's no ants in the moss.
Bro, you're so wrong right now.
You are on ants right
now.
Where's it?
Anthill,
Look at this.
Oh. Well, let's move 5 feet that way. But
Cody Regam, no, not Cody.
we're gonna make it over there.
We'll make farther.
Why did we stop here in the first place?
Huh?
Why didn't we keep going?
What?
Because my boat was half full of water and I was soaking wet.
You know, we were like right around the corner, right? That last point, after that point, it was all downhill, like the winds at our back from there on.
Well, tomorrow morning, I'll wake you guys up at 7 o'clock. Like what I do.
7 o'clock, we'll wake you up.
Think you'll be up at 7?
No, I'll be sleeping.
Yeah, I know.
I'll catch up.
I know. You guys are sleeping at 6:30.
Oh, man, we could have been in a big, huge campsite tonight.
Yeah. We could have been down the river.
Isn't that where they went walking to?
No. The point that we didn't paddle to, that point right there. We were right there. Around that point, we just like, we got it's all down, like we go downwind from there. The wind pushes us down, right to a campsite.
But
It's chilly out there.
we got this.
We lost Lyron's boat, and Rob and What do you mean we lost them? Well, they're not here yet. They had to pull over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you be in them? Pretty sure she's mad too.
You think she'll be mad?
Yeah, she's pretty mad because we got a guide for a reason.
Yeah.
The guide's just
Just left their group.
It's going at its own pace.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you got a point there. I'm not going to argue with that one on you.
Let's go at a group pace.
I don't know. Boy's got a point, actually. Group's not really staying together. And it shows you whether you're a group of people from a remote northern Saskatchewan community or you're from New York City. Either way, group dynamics really matter, and staying together really matters. We actually got 2 canoes that have not made it in yet. They had to pull over, so it's not good. I'm soloing all this, so I've been soloing hard against the wind. Had to get some help from one of the other canoes. I'm the only one in a solo canoe. Not a good thing on a big windy lake when you're windbound. All right. Well, here we are for the night. Good experience for them.
The wind continues, unrelenting. You paddle 3 strokes, but get pushed back 1, and on it goes for hours. All the while, the wind whips fresh, cold northern water into your face and soaks your clothing. But with each stroke, your spirit is exercised just a little. Nature infuses the reality of meaningful existence into your psyche, seeking to strengthen your spirit, to remake you anew, and to present you another day of living with the choice of what to do with it. The boys could sense the challenge was at hand, and you could feel their desire to take control of their own existence.
We are junior survivors here on the next episode of Survivor Boys. Day 2 on Lloyd Lake. We are going to the mouth of the Clearwater River tomorrow. Look at that beautiful. Right now we got a beautiful sunset here. Lots to enjoy. Good bros. Good night.
It's beating me. It's really beating me. As a person, as a man. But hey, this is what it's for. You get your mind right, get your mindset right. Mind headstrong. This way you come in strong. Right, boys?
That's right, man.
How is it for you, Lauren?
For me, yeah, it's pretty tough. Hard work. Boys piss me off. It's going offside. Mainly arguing all the way. Nearly tipped 2 times.
Got tired, got weak, and got wet and had to set up fire. Now, me and the boys just sleeping outside, chilling, munching out on some trail mix. And that's how it is, I guess. Well, day 2 of the big trip. Me and the boys are just aching today, absolutely sore. All of us couldn't even barely set up camp. But now that we're all settled in here, relaxed, and had something to eat, I feel a lot better. Day 3 is tomorrow, big paddle coming up. Hopefully make it down the river a little bit. Got a little makeshift tent here out of this tarp. So it was a pretty good experience. I like it.
All the game.
Haven't really been out in the wilderness for 8 days, I guess. All the way, no civilization, basically. But having fun. All the boys are having fun. Tomorrow should be an even better day.
My grandma raised me when I was newborn. My mom tried to give me away when she was drunk. And my grandma took me and she raised me for 19 years.
Never met my dad. It's my mom, my auntie, my sister.
My dad and my mom split up when I was just a little baby, not even probably a year old. So my mom took my brothers and I was left. I was like a little sick baby the first time here, so I was left with my grandparents. And like a lot of stuff happened throughout those years. Got shot in the eye with a pellet gun, point blank, and never really knew my mom and my brothers and my sisters.
I grew up with my grandma, and then she passed away about 6 years ago. And then, like, ever since then, I grew up with my mom, but she wasn't really always around, like, as much as my grandma was. So, like, I was always with my grandma every day, and then once I moved in with my mom, she was always gone, so it was, like, me and my sister, basically. So, like, my sister raised me, like, as a young teen. So it was just, like, me and her, and she was young, too, you know what I mean? She was still a teenager. Still young, like 16, 17, and I was, like, 13 or whatever.
My dad, he lives in reserve. Has a family of his own now. Got like two nieces, Sienna and I don't even remember the other one. I barely see him.
Do you see your dad at all?
Sometimes he comes by every once in a while. And when I walk in the streets, if I see him there, I just stop and say hi.
5 years ago, I almost lost my life. I got stabbed twice in the school, and I was like 15. It made me realize how much life means to me.
Right now, we're just waiting out the storm here. The wind's pretty strong, white caps all over. Me and Brad and Shawn and Donald made a little fire over there. We found a little nice camping spot, better than sitting on the moss. Right now, I'll show you what the lake is looking like. As you can see, and we gotta make it all the way across. All the way across over there. That's where the mouth of the river is. So right now, we're just chilling, waiting for all this to die down. Once that goes, we'll be hitting the lake.
The peace of nature will flow into you as sunshine flows into trees. Winds will blow their own freshness into you and storms their energy, while cares will drop off like autumn leaves.
Me and the boys here just made camp, just pulled up to shore about an hour ago. We were waiting for the wind to die down, but that didn't work out, so now we're cooking fish. This is Shawn, Brad, Austin. There's my bro, Lyron. Right now we're just setting up camp here, laying down some branches for the bed.
Oh yeah, good night bed.
Soon we'll be ready to call it quits after we eat that fish. It's mostly gray all day. Not really much movement going on. Just moved from point to point, basically around the corner and set up camp. Too strong to paddle through it, not enough experience.
It's like this since yesterday too, so we're going across here, you'll be drifted way back there. And we'll have a little bit of tailwind, so maybe that would help us. You know what you're doing.
Sending up there.
Okay, so I was sitting on a tree. I was dropping a load, and I heard some branches cracking down over there, and I wasn't minding it because I thought it was one of the other boys. And then as I was continuing what I was doing, I turned to the right and I see a big black bear. So I sat there and wondered, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna pull up and run or wipe and run? So I wiped and then I ran.
Each night, Virginia organized a sharing circle. It was all about expressing gratitude, sharing and strengthening each other.
So if I could have all the young men on this side of the circle and then all the adults on this side, and we'll go from oldest to youngest, and again, oldest to youngest.
I really enjoy the time out here that I'm spending with my friends, especially without no interruptions like your cell phone or anything. Being out here is like, I don't know, gotta learn to trust one another and not really depend, but just work as a team.
Thankful for the smoke that I just got. Thankful for food, everything. Bros, chilling out.
I'm thankful for that you put this whole trip together and got us out for this experience that we've never experienced. And I'm grateful for all the people that are here and helping out and giving us support. I'm grateful that this is going to be a great memory and I have a great story from today that I can tell to my kids or grandkids one day. But I just miss the privacy and comfort of my own bathroom.
We're going to sit in dinner.
Yeah.
Sinne nu hade sig så kvehal så hade den gode då i se där det nahi ana har tutus nen ba dueni den nu en tere don't di chani de shia se kwisli de danot is it hani belt see I was lucky hani sagan nania so you den anti chani de de shia na de horik on berko de no did you see it is a cute bayao hot khadu now tia on never banali has exactly who's a question isiga.
Earth and sky, woods and fields, lakes and rivers, the mountains and the sea are excellent schoolmasters and will teach you more than you can ever learn from books.
Me and the boys here just finished paddling from where we left off. Leaving as a group. There's BB and her hubby. There's MC and Ren. Darius and Speech. And then there's me and Brad, the leaders. Day 4 of the big journey. Coming in hot to Clearwater Rapids. No stopping now.
The boys have pushed through the winds and not given up. The river gives them currents in their favor, so spirits begin to strengthen. Confidence seeps into their words. But Mother Earth is not yet done with her teaching. Wilderness travel is not for the timid. It's not the meek who shall inherit the earth. It's the strong who will deserve it. They don't yet have the technical skills required to paddle down treacherous stretches of rapids, and so they must echo the traditions of their own history and carefully navigate their way through the wilderness. No one said this was going to be easy.
I'm reconnecting to my ancestral roots. I'm doing physical work. Stuff around, like, I'm making my mind strong. Like, even not running with a bear. If I had a weak mind, I would have just ran right away as soon as I saw it, but I just sat there and watched it.
A couple of days ago, I just wanted to give up, but then if I give up, I'm not going home. Yeah, I'm not giving up, because I want to see my grandparents again.
Pretty fun out here, no cell phone or nothing.
Why is that good?
Because I'm always on it.
Why?
I don't know, it's addicting, I guess. Just looking at.
And what's it feel like to be off of it?
It feels pretty good, actually.
Why?
I'm not even thinking about it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Oh, yeah.
Like when I'm out here, I don't really think about anything. Just don't worry about the time or what day it is. Don't worry about anything like that. I just find it peaceful out here, just calm.
When I was a kid, I used to get taken right after school back to Clearwater. And there was a place that we used to hang out. And I remember just like, it was so beautiful. And it's so peaceful. We could stay there all summer, and my dad would do the hunting, fishing, and Mama would make dried meat and dry fish. We could stay there all summer long until school started. And that's how I know that, you know, it may seem hard, but when their parents start doing these kind of things, a lot of them would probably say, well, you know, it's peaceful and it's possible that they can make a difference in their lives. So I see that it's, you know, it's a good thing that you start doing it again.
Rob, lean down. Right across. Just like that. Always lean downstream, because the current coming down will grab you. It's scary to do so, but it's effective.
As for me, I come alive in nature. I need no reason for being out here. When I'm here, I don't think about society. I spend my days dazzled by the beauty of it all. The wind on my face and the splash of water on my skin make this my place of healing. It was two of the teachers, Mac and Melendez, that dumped in the rapids. And let's face it, there's nothing more fun for a student than to watch their teacher pull a fail.
Holy.
Humiliating for the teacher, exhilarating for the student.
Yeah, look at what he's trying to do. I think he's trying to paddle the rock over to the boat. Absolutely treacherous.
I made my way up to the overturned canoe for some old-school canoe rescue. Water pressure like this can trap you against a rock and flip you backwards, breaking your leg and taking your life in a matter of seconds. It's a healthy reminder that nature will always be in charge.
Lie down by the side of the trail and remember it all. The woods do that to you. They always look familiar, long lost, like the face of a long-dead relative, like an old dream, like a piece of forgotten song drifting across the water, most of all, like the golden eternities of past childhood, and all the living and all the dying, and the heartbreak that went on 1,000,000 years ago, and the clouds as they pass overhead seem to testify by their own lonesome familiarity to this feeling.
Even though this river historically is a huge part of the Dene culture, as well as the Cree, the Métis, the Voyageurs, but certainly the Dene. These boys have not ever paddled this river. They've not seen it, they've not been on it. They have relatives who have been out here, but they haven't. I've always found that one of the greatest misunderstandings of youth and wilderness travel. It's assumed that if people live in the north, that they must be out in the bush all the time. And yet, that's not what happens. Because of that assumption, nobody takes them out. There's a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol in the town, yep. It's kind of a cliche now because it's everywhere. Somewhere in their past is broken homes, somewhere in their past is generally some violence, somewhere in their past or present is a lot of drugs and alcohol. And that presents quite a challenge for learning how to deal with PTSD when you're, oh my gosh. I just watched a hawk swoop down and catch a small songbird off a bush limb. I've never seen that before. Ah, nature. And this is why we're out here, to bring these boys out into this nature. My mission has always been to connect people to the land, connect people to nature. This river trip with these young 8 Dene men is an opportunity to do just that, to show them a little slice of nature and the potential that they can connect to it.
Forget not that the earth delights to feel your bare feet, and the winds long to play with your hair.
Day 6 in the morning. All the boys are pretty grumpy because they're all wet. There's my bro Speedy, Austin Lee, MC, Shawn. There's Mac. MC Austin Lee. There's my bro Shawn, my bro Darius.
It's recording?
Yeah.
There's a soaked in a lake out.
And there's me. Got up at 5. Big. What the f is that? Oh, just a little piece of dirt. But having fun with the boys. Our little tent over there got soaked.
These people have learned not from books, but in the fields, in the woods, on the riverbank. Their teachers have been the birds themselves when they sang to them, the sun when it left a glow of crimson behind it at setting, the very trees and wild herbs.
Yeah, now he's cool, eh?
The Portage Trail is the unsung hero of the opening up of this country by explorers. The first peoples of Canada showed the voyageurs how to get across this vast land. The strength it required, the bumps and bruises, sweat and slipping, the mosquitoes that bite your hands while you hold up the canoe. They're all a part of reminding you how human you are. And when you travel as a group, The portage serves to establish how well the team works together.
This is what you have to do. This is part of the deal. I'm pretty sure our ancestors didn't just take their own canoes up by themselves. Look, Mendez, everybody helped carry each other's boat up. Except for you and Mac. You guys just sat here and waited.
You guys need to I'm not here to carry you.
You're not there, but you're help.
Boys, it's done.
Do you remember the old movie called The Dirty Dozen? Well, there's a scene in it where the prisoners rebel all as one against the commander. Yet he loves it, because it showed unity.
Being out here is not going to go as you want. You know, if there's a group, there's going to be somebody that's going to be disappointing you and say, well, you're going to chew their heads off. But calm down. You know, life is life. You know, you just don't jump at people because you're not happy with what they're doing. Maybe they're just teaching you. I said, these teachers are out here helping you. They didn't come from the lodge. They have to come from out of town. And I said, look at it that way. Maybe you one day graduate and finish your school, you're going to become a teacher and you're going to be doing the same thing somewhere. And you're going to be mad at the kids because you're not packing their gears, or you're just going to tell them the same thing. I said, pack your, move on.
Boy, it was tough, uphill, climbing mountains. Hey, PG.
That's right.
Now we're just sitting here waiting for our food to boil.
For the water to boil.
Our water to boil. Brad's sitting there doing nothing as usual.
Hey, yo, my nut.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, bro.
1.4K up a steep hill. About 40 pounds on your back. Oh, yeah, it was hell. It took a couple of hours, but we're past it now. Buddies are about to go swimming in this cold-ass river. Gonna record it. Woo!
Cold, boys.
Thirsty now. Exactly as I said it. That's why I got the camera.
Let's take point, bro. I'm cold though.
Wash my hair in the water. Pretty cold. These guys pretty crazy. Trying to go swimming in there. Oh, there goes B-Rat again.
Brad, wild cross.
Oh. There's Sina. There's Sina.
I'm not going back. There's Sina. Once I'm not going back, I can't keep myself. Bro, you're coming back. All right.
My girlfriend at the time, she inboxed me and she was like, someone shot up the school, and then like I didn't believe her because it's hard to believe, you know what I mean? Like, especially in a small community, it's hard to believe. So I was like, no way, who? And then she told me who it was, Ears. And I was like, my friend Ears. She was like, yeah. And I was like, no way. So like we had a group chat there, so I checked that. And I was just scrolling because I had no internet at the time, so I was just scrolling real far up that chat, and then I seen the conversation of what happened. And like what he all said.
What Ear said?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Like at first, it was like I'm not having fun or something like that. It's not fun for me or something like that. And then he's like, I just killed 2 people. He's like, Dane and Lil are dead. I'm going to the school. And then that was it. That was the last messages he said.
He texted that?
Yeah, like in a group chat.
Yeah.
Like Facebook Messenger.
Did you? So you knew Ears?
Yeah. Yeah, he was in Man Group. He was gonna be here with us, but that all happened.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know the people that he shot?
Mm-hmm.
How do you think? How did it affect you? I mean, you obviously had to come back. You were in Meadow Lake, but you had to come back. How did it affect you?
When you walk into the gym and the commons is right here, just like right, like
So I took this path and went to the gym and just started hearing shooting.
Where was the shooting?
Just in the commons, in the building main area. So I just followed my teacher into the bathroom. He locked the first door, locked the second door. It was just like the whole school was moving. It was scary that time.
How has it affected you? Or has it affected you since then, or did you write it off?
Not really affected, but when I hear something loud, that's the only part that affects me, because I get scared.
I saw kids running back, like from the back trail all the way to the skate park without no shoes, yeah? And I was like I was listening to music, I couldn't hear what they were saying, yeah? And like I took one earbud off, and this kid told me there's a kid with a shotgun in the school. I didn't believe him at first, so I walked back to school. And I saw like vehicles everywhere, you know what I mean? And it's like, as soon as I was walking, I saw a pile of blood. And then that's when I started to believe it.
I heard one of my bros got shot that I was hanging out with them. The day before that, we were just chilling out. We spent all day together, and we were like, tomorrow afternoon, we'll chill out. I'll meet you at the school. You'll meet me at the doors. And she was waiting for me at the doors, the main doors, when she got shot.
And then right when we get near the commons again, near the main doors, in comes Ears. So he comes in, he looks around, and then he goes into the shoe area. And then I go up there, I say, "Sup, bro?" I shake his hand, ask him what's wrong. He doesn't say nothing. And then I start going to the washroom, and then he walks outside, and my buddy Leighton and my buddy Jackass, his name's Harry, but his nickname is Jackass. So Ears is outside, and so we all follow him out. And then I remember seeing him standing at the side of the truck. Both doors are open, and he was just standing there loading up his shotgun. And I don't know what happened in my head. Adrenaline and fear took over, and I just ran back inside and I started warning people. I just started warning them, like. And then I was gonna run to the washroom in the commons, but I thought that was a pretty sketchy place to be. And then I ran back, and as soon as I passed the concrete wall, that's when the shots started firing. And then I'm still running down, warning people. And then there's two big classes. And then I was supposed to be in my science class at that time. And it's like these classes are, you come in, there's a hallway, and there's a big room, and they're just right beside each other. There's a sky roof, and it's quiet. You can hear the teachings on the other side. And so by the time that shooting was going on, so there's my classroom, but I was on the other side, right? And so as I'm sitting there, wondering if I'm gonna make it out alive or dead, shots are popping off. They're getting closer, and they're getting further, and to the point. And the room right beside us that I was just telling you about, the first shot pops off, I hear cries. The second shot pops off, I hear screaming. And then another one pops off, and then, I don't know, it was all scary. Like, it was such a traumatic experience. No one should ever hear or see the things that we went through that time. That should never, ever happen. No one should be pushed to that point that they feel that they should do that. It's just a bad time. The community was in sorrow. Everybody was grieving. It was just a sad day for the Loche.
My brother is in the making of the Inukshuk. He wrecked for me.
Get that, bro.
Straight.
There it is. There it is.
Nice, nice. Kinda made it again. Not bad, eh?
I feel like I can do anything I want. I feel like I can stand on top of the world if I really put my mind to it.
I took an environmental science class, and then I started paying attention to all of it. And then I found it interesting, you know what I mean? Now that I really put my mind to it, that's what I want to do. Like, I really want to do it, so I'm pretty sure I can, and I will.
Take every opportunity they throw at me. I'm taking it, because life's too short.
You put your mind to it, you could do anything you want.
Yeah, we just take care of each other. No one's left behind.
Those who contemplate the beauty of the earth find reserves of strength that will endure as long as life lasts. There is something infinitely healing in the repeated refrains of nature. The assurance that dawn comes after night and spring after winter.
Heck of a day. I've been actually spending my day. I've decided to go many miles ahead of the boys because I'm still paddling solo and I'm the only one paddling solo. So if I stay behind, I'm going to lag way behind. So every time they break, I just keep going. And on the way, I've been able to see a moose, and I just spooked up a huge black bear. He was he was just getting a drink of water, and he lifted his head up. And I mean, that head was a foot wide, I'm sure. And anyway, he took a look at me, and I moved a bit to get the camera and tried to get a shot of him, and then he sort of tromped off into the swamp. But so hopefully the boys are all coming behind me, and everything's great. This has really been quite an experience as far as taking the boys down this river, a very traditional river for the Dene people and for their ancestors, which is why so much of the talk with them and the communication with them is about their history, their ancestry. And paddling down this river just continues that line, one that's been running for no doubt hundreds, potentially thousands of years.
Go to the woods if you wish to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and see if you could not learn what it has to teach, and not, when you came to die, discover that you had not lived.
Just got to the campground, feeling pretty good after a relaxing day of paddling. Here we got Rob and Mac fishing. Got the bros in our campsite. How you feeling after that day of canoeing?
It wasn't even bad, my bro.
And you, B-Rad?
It was good.
And you, Speech?
It was good. Had a good talk on the way here. Conversation, laughs, singing songs all the way.
How about you, Shawn? How you feeling? And you, Meatloaf? Oh, that's good. How about you, MC? How you feeling after day 7?
Feeling A1.
A1? Oh, got Lyron. The plastic bag all the way out in the woods. Oh, wow. Lyron, how you feeling after day 7?
I just want to keep going, man. I can't even tire anything.
Yeah, I feel you.
What about you, my bro?
Day 7, feeling pretty good. We made a pretty relaxing day. We could have went further, though.
Well, that's the meaning of taking them out, showing them what a really man can do. And when we were portaging there, the first, second, or third rapids there, they were all anxious and even getting mad. I want to go, I want to go. It's not that easy as it seems so easy. You know, you need to take practice on anything. And this is one thing that I'm not going to allow to go and risk your life, I said. And if you do, I said, you know, I'll be sad or I'll be disappointed because I'm supposed to be helping you to understand that this trip is not about easy going. You're going to be struggling, you're going to be getting wet, you're going to be bruises here, And I said, it's not an overnight thing to be doing something like this. So it's an opportunity for you to learn as much as you can, because 3 days is not enough. Our ancestors, our grandfathers have been through this, their lifestyle. So I'm sure there were 1 night or 2 nights or many nights they had a sleepless night because it's too cold or it's too wet or hungry.
Or too buggy.
Yeah, and they didn't have all that stuff that we have today. Today you can go back to the tent and get mosquito repellent. Back there they didn't have any, you know. But today you have everything, I said. You have tent, you got food, I said. You get free rides, you know, relax. The Loche will be there, you know. And some of them, well, I want to go home. I said, what's your rush? 2 days from now, I said, it's all over, you know. And then you're going to be back to doing the same thing. And one of them said, oh, yeah, you know, gives me an idea what I should be doing with my life.
Go to nature to be soothed and healed and to have your senses put in tune.
These are the words Ronnie spoke in their native Dene language that night around the healing circle. I am happy to be traveling with you young people. Nowadays, teaching young people can be a difficult task. If you have it in your mind that this job of survival in the bush is tough, then it will be. Ever since I was a young lad, I used to travel with my dad. I was lucky my dad was alive to teach me. Now this traveling in the bush, how to light a fire, preparing food, walking around, canoeing on the rapids, portaging, is not an easy task. My dad used to tell me, you will remember this experience in the future. But as a child, I never gave it a second thought. My dad taught kids from the Dene High School and the Reserve School. He traveled long distances with the students. My dad used to say, if we talk to the kids and hand down some of our knowledge, they will make good use of it in the future. I am happy that Virginia invited me to talk with you young people and to teach you some of this knowledge. We still have not reached our destination, but if we all help each other, we will get there. If there is something you don't understand, you can ask us elders. But if you don't let us know, we won't know if you're sick or not. People in the past have done this. They have survived in the bush. Our grandfathers all grew up on this land, and they survived.
My soul, teach me my role, help me to know what I'm here for. Oh, Father, Son, fill me with life, in my mind, warmth in my soul and my body. Oh, Mother Earth, now hear you calling. Oh, Mother Earth, not searching for my are your ground. My head is your sky. We need to know you are living.